Hello, this is Greg Allison of Green Griggs coming to you on the 12th of November, 2020. If you think 2020 has been a bad year, a really bad, you know what burger year, it's possible you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh my gosh. Wait till you see what's coming. Is China planning and developing eugenics-based warfare? It's under doctrine. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to talk to you about it. And this is kind of off the walls. It's off the charts, what might be in store. So if you think the bug that went around earlier was bad, it may be a lot worse, and it might do so real soon. So let's get into this. Let's talk about it. Now, some of you say, oh, Greg, come on, they don't want to do anything. We're so interdependent. Yeah, that was the hope. The interdependence would have won them more over to our way of thinking and made things peaceful. But look at them today. Very expansionist, very militaristic. It's not worked. It's not worked at all. They played us to our own beliefs and hopes. They've used Sun Tzu against us. We thought we studied Sun Tzu to some degree, but they are the masters of Sun Tzu. You know what Sun Tzu is? It is the art of war written by General Sun Tzu. And it's the kind of thing is look strong when you're weak, look weak when you're strong, and make your enemy relax. Use every means other than direct confrontation that you can to take them down. And oh yeah, well, we're going to talk about some more of these things. So remember, please, I have talked about Thucydides' trap concept in several of my videos. Thucydides' trap is a concept that was brought forward by Professor Graham Allison of Harvard. Now, no direct relation that I'm aware of, but Dr. Allison used the analysis of the very first scientific historian, Thucydides, the Greek historian Thucydides, who wrote about the Peloponnesian Wars, in which he went through great effort to talking about his analysis of what happens when a rising power threatens to displace an entrenched power. In this case, it was Athens rising to displace Sparta. It just so happens that it didn't work out so well for Athens. They got beat by Sparta eventually. But as you may be aware, our concepts of democracy originated in Athens, and the totalitarian system was what won out in that case. Now, there are certain weaknesses in democracies, unfortunately, but something we've got to be vigilant for, and we've got to be more mindful, and we've been a bit too relaxed, perhaps. Now, in the analysis that Graham Allison put forward, he cited 16 cases over the last 500 years where this scenario played out, and in 75%, 12 of those cases, it led to armed conflict. Now, in 4 of those cases, it didn't, but those were special cases wherein the nations are in the same club, like the European Union, or maybe it's the United States saving the rear end of the power we're replacing, like the Great Britain in WW1 and WW2. Although we actually did come close to a war with Great Britain between those 2 wars, very close. So, or the case where the Pope split the world, you know, like Solomon offering to split the baby between Portugal and Spain once upon a time. So there are special cases. The 4 cases that we did not go into were special cases. So here today, clearly, China is a fast rising power. The United States is an entrenched power. It couldn't be more different in our philosophies, our modes of operation, how we view humanity and just human rights, the very basics. We are gulfs apart. Although they got a habit of playing the Sun Tzu and playing nice and making us relax and thinking everything is okay. And a lot of my friends purely and truly believe that their side is the side that's right. Well, they probably haven't been listening to my videos very carefully, because what I talk about in my videos, I'm basing on analysis of looking at trends. If you want to know how the future is going to play, I'm a futurist. I have long been a futurist. And I've studied military strategy since I was a teenager. And I will tell you this, you study trends. If you want to know where things are going, look at what the trend lines, look at what's possible in terms of resources available, look at motives, you know, anytime, you know, you expect someone has going to be the means of motive and all that stuff, material. Human nature. You got to factor human nature. When you factor all these things in, and then most importantly, don't listen to what they say. Look at what they're actually doing. What are the other people doing? That will tell you more about where things are going than anything. Not what they're saying, not all the little niceties, the sugar coating they put on their poison pills that they feed to you and make you go, it's what's inside them. How they, especially how do they treat their own people? It's kind of like getting into a relationship. You know, if you're going to looking to get married to somebody, you know, you not want to pay close attention to how they treat other people around them. You know, if they're constantly putting everybody else down, you know, you're going to be the next one in that line. So pay close attention. Look today at how the Uyghurs are treated. Look today at how the Inner Mongolians and all these people are treated. The Tibetans. Okay, Falun Gong. Now, before we get into all this, I'm gonna get off of that. We're gonna go into the analysis. Before we do, I've got a special deal for you guys. Guess what? You can get $100 off. $100, a 4-week supply of food that lasts 25 years. This is half of it. You get 2 of these buckets, $100 off. It's lightweight. You can toss it around. You don't have to. It's because it's freeze dried. And I've seen a competitor company where they got, you know, their 4-week supply, and the ladies just shove it, get across the threshold of the house, the doorstop. So guess what? This is lightweight. You can put it in your car, your truck, and you got 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Buy this and you'll be a winner. The prices are great. Get it before they go up again, and it's an awesome deal. $100 off. 2,000 calories per day. Enough said on that. Oh, go to prepwithgreg.com. And there's other prep and supplies there too. Just click on the My Patriot Supply logo. There's all kind of prep and supplies. And right now, when we're looking at things coming at us, my friends, this decade it could be really rough. You need to get ready and get ready in every means you can. Go to big box stores too. Watch my videos on wild edibles. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, bang the notification bell, and click all so you can see all my videos. Because my proposition of my channel is to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And I'm bringing you this information today, this video, so you'll know to keep your eyes wide open and head on swivel, because there are things that are still coming at us. Sometimes we lose sight of these things. We're right now caught up in all the political stuff going on in this country, and we'll talk about that more in the future. Just from a standpoint of what you need to think about for prepping more than anything. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about this stuff. I'm going to tell you what's going on. Then I'm going to show you some websites, if you don't mind. And essentially, what I'm going to tell you is that civilized nations are bound to obey, you know, the law established by the Geneva Conventions. So you may have heard of the Geneva Conventions. These are the rules internationally accepted for warfare and militaries and how we treat each other in these arenas, so there's some degree of civility. Now, bad guys are real bad about, of course, not necessarily banning these things. As you know, ask the POWs that were captured by the Japanese, by the Vietnamese. Some of these cultures on the surface wouldn't claim that, you know, they're going to abide by all this stuff, but quite often they don't. So these conventions outlaw acts such as international targeting of civilian populations. I'm going to come back to that. And the creation and stockpiling of biological weapons. We're going to come back to this. Despite these obligations, China is evident, it seems, and quite eager to violate these conventions. And why? It's because they have special opportunities. You know, and they're claiming it's due to the investment of medical science. Well, just wait till you see what they're doing, what's in the doctrine, what's in the books they've been publishing. So there's a book. I'm going to show you some of these in a minute, some of these documents, a few of them. There is a book called Unrestricted Warfare. It was written by 2 colonels in the People's Liberation Army. And forgive me if I murder the names of our potential future murderers. Colonels Qiao Liang and Wang Jiangsu. Okay, so the first guy's name is spelled Qiaoliang, and the second guy has to be Wang, I guess, Wangxiansui. Hey, my redneck Mandarin is a bit rusty. Okay, guys, and I need to practice up on it. You know, you should know the language of your future masters. In case they become, I don't accept that they're going to be our masters. Come on, guys, they shall not pass, because we're catching on to them. But we need to do that, because if we don't, they will pass and they'll be all over us. And maybe more ways than one. You know, little bugs are silent. They move around like something else that's just gone around. Look how that got out and about. So we need to be careful. So these colonels said, you know, and that Chinese military thinking has extended the concept of battlefield to every aspect of military and civilian existence. When I said battlefield, every aspect of military and civilian existence. The unlimited battlefield now means that China intends to include biowarfare along with its most other significant means of fighting a war. So also that book details fighting, and we're going to go back to it in a minute, fighting warfare without conflicts, at least open conflicts, as being the primary objective, just like Sun Tzu. It's kind of like taking Sun Tzu and writing the follow-up book, Sun Tzu Part 2. Yeah, that's what that is, Sun Tzu Part 2. You know, it's kind of interesting. I posted an article about these claims and of these two colonels and on my Facebook site back in March, maybe April, and I got attacked, viciously attacked. Oh, well, you decided the article that was that the guy that wrote that article, he's associated with the Epoch Times, and Epoch Times is associated with the Falun Gong. They're an extreme right group in China, and they're blah 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 blah, and so it can't be true. Well, one, the book is written. It is true. You can buy it. And by the way, the Falun Gong is, those guys are being, yeah, live organ harvest from them. They're being expired, planted in the ground just for what they believe in the country. So I wonder why they're laying down and taking it so easy. Myself, it's an extreme group. Give me a break. I do not accept that line of thought. And if you're hung on that, you need to go do some examination. You know, if that were happening to people here, yeah, let's see how well that would pass. Oh, well, it might after somebody comes and takes away all our straws and spitwads, right? No, I don't even think it'd even pass with that. You know, I just can't see that sitting well. Oh, okay, we're being genocided. So let's start a newspaper. Let's start a magazine. What? Okay, whatever. So also we just discovered in 2019 that there's a book written in 2010 called War for Biological Dominance. And this was written by China's third military medical university. And professors there emphasized the use of biological warfare in this book. Of course, that's the name of it, right? The theoretical basis for this was continued further in an essay in 2015 by General Fuchsu, okay, F-U-C-H-U, okay, like I said, my redneck Mandarin's a bit rusty, all right? So he was then the president of the China's Military Academy for Military Medical Sciences. And he argued that biotechnology will become the new strategic commanding heights of national defense of biomaterials and brain control weapons. Brain control? Yeah, I don't know. That's okay. He might have been stretching a bit on that one, or at least for the near term. May need to implant like Neuralace. I don't know. Anyway, well, I don't know. You know, there's a bacteria that affects cats that actually it infects rats. It makes the rats surrender to cats, so the cats would eat them, so it will infect the rats. I mean, there's a funny bacteria out there that affects the minds of rats. So what are we supposed? So maybe this would infect us, so we'd bow down to our future masters, so they could chop our heads off. I don't know. Hey, that's what happens to a rat. This is live action role playing session. Okay, this is a LARP session. You know, that was, you know, intended to be a bit of a humor and a really serious, scary topic here. You know, don't mistake people's sense of humor for a lack of seriousness. But always remember, the most playful animals in nature are the most deadly predators. Okay. Humor comes from strength, because you know you can afford to have the humor. Okay. So they turned their theory into practice. They turned it into the doctrine of the People's Liberation Army in 2019, and the 2017 edition of the PLA National Defense University's textbook. So it's in their textbook now, which debuted a section about biology as a domain of military struggle, mentioning the potential for new kinds of biological warfare to include, okay guys, get this, are you ready? To include specific ethnic genetic attacks. Hear that again. Specific ethnic genetic attacks. That is now in the doctrine of the People's Liberation Army. Wow. We're going to come back to that. That is frightening. And China just seems to be so eager to violate the Biological Weapons Convention part of the Geneva Conventions, which prohibits development and stockpiling of biological and toxic weapons. Is that weird? And so China's reported now begun using this genomic science, the study of DNA profiles of individuals such as the Uyghurs, and we just mentioned them earlier, the Uyghur population, the Muslim population of Xinjiang province, which is basically an open air concentration camp with concentration camps within it, you know, which you call, excuse me, re-education centers. Anyway, it's also created a national gene bank intended to make it the world's largest repository of genomic data. Well, that's a scary thing to have in their fingers, is it not? Is that, well, does not concern you that they got that in their fingertips? Well, they got you in their fingertips. All right, we're going to take this home. So there's this organization, CFIUS. How would you pronounce that? CFIUS? So like the monkey from Planet of the Apes, right? Cephas. It was supposed to be the great prophet. You know, this was in the second edition of that series. All right. The Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., CFIUS, which is an interagency group that has regulatory power over foreign purchases of U.S. companies and real estate. Now, what do they allow to happen? Well, it just so happens that the State Department and the Department of Defense both play a prominent role in it, and under the Obama-Biden administration, they absolutely foolishly allowed a company known as Beijing Genomics Incorporated, BGI, to purchase an American company called Complete Genomics Incorporated, a U.S. company. And this happened in what's supposed to be the end of time, right? 2012. I want to talk about 2012 again, saying there's something interesting come out on that. But here's the scary part. By allowing that purchase, CFIUS, CFIUS, what I'm going to call it, gave BGI access to CGI's database of American DNA profiles. Yes, our profiles, American DNA profiles. Now, maybe you didn't go to 23andMe yourself. Maybe you didn't get your mouth swabbed for some of these tests going around. And so they got entry into the U.S. genomics market, which means they still own this company, so they're still getting data. I mean, they're getting data right now. So it's akin to enabling the Chinese Huawei company to build a 5G network in the United States, which President Trump thankfully stopped because Huawei has been spying, for China as probably as BGI, right? Well, they got your data now. But see, there's more to it, because in July, 2 of BGI's subsidiaries, the Xinjiang Silk Road, which is that province that the Uyghurs live in, their country, should be their country, and the Beijing Liuhe, Liuhe, like I said, this redneck Mandarin's rusty, BGI, were blacklisted by the United States for their helping the Chinese to identify and oppress the Uyghurs. BGI itself apparently wasn't blacklisted because it's heavily involved in genetic studies with companies in the U.S. because they're trading with us right here. The mother company was okay, just as subsidiaries were spanked on their hand, as they're dutifully collecting all your DNA genomic data. Interesting. So we have to really think about this and seriously take China's military applications of biological warfare into account, including their specific ethnic genetic attacks that they've got written into their doctrine. We can kind of hope this isn't true, but it is in their doctrine. So by broadening the concept of biowarfare, which it does label as one of its domains of war, into such fields as genomics, the study of human DNA, China is intended to create this weapons based on genomic data. So that, this is a valid concept. Are they going to do it? What is this bug it went on? Was that a dry run? Or is it totally accidental? Just totally coincidental that it happened to get released in the district that has the big research institute, level 4. You know what? Institute of what? Virology? Interesting. Interesting. Or was it all just accidental? I've got a good friend, Dr. Paul Cottrell, who's reviewed the genome, and he talks about whole big chunks of genetic material being replaced in the beginning, the end, and right smack dab in the middle, saying, that's just not natural. And there's been other people make similar claims of it being not natural, including a certain doctor from over there running around who's living in exile in the United States now. Those are claims they're making. Greg Allison didn't say it, but Greg Allison did defend the Uyghurs, by the way, and Greg Allison has defended the Falun Gong. If you don't like that, tough. Yeah. So what does this mean? Does their study of ethnic attacks, could that soon mean that organisms tailored or edited by editing the genes for specific ethnic groups or even individuals could be released? Could they be released to affect Caucasians, Africans, any group that's not Chinese? Maybe they would like to take care of the Uyghur population first. Mongolians, anybody that's not their own. I warn you guys, I said, look, if you're making deals, I've said this in previous videos, if you're in these island countries and poor nations and third world countries and you're making deals and you're letting them in, you are letting the devil in your house. I didn't say it in those words, but I said you're in trouble. Because the Europeans were very bad to the Native Americans, but they did have philosophies that they were supposed to treat people in a certain way. They didn't quite live up to it, but if they didn't have these guiding philosophies at all, if they treated their own people the way China does today, look, guys, I think it's going to be far worse. Far, far, far worse. And they've got technology on their side that wasn't available way back when. Oh, yeah, they did use smallpox blankets on the American Indians. So that kind of thing has kind of got a precedence, don't it? But wow, look at the technology available today. Yeah. So we could have special tailored genomic weapons. And they might even tailor them to individuals or small groups, big groups. You know, wow. Oh, they don't like you? Okay, well, just you'll catch a cold one day and you just never recover. Wow. I guess I'm doing a great thing. I'm becoming a great friend on here with all these videos, right? Yeah. What did I say? What did I do? What did I talk about China's government? Let's see. It's nationalistic, socialistic. What's national socialism? What do you call that? It's militaristic. It's adventuristic. It's expansionistic. And they are oppressing their peoples. They got prison camps, and we don't know what else going on in there, to be honest. And now eugenics. What's this sound like? What does this sound like? Interesting. And they're funding groups here in the United States. Apparently, it seems to be the case. They claim they're against fascism. Really? Isn't that interesting? I said they claim to be funded. Some people are claiming that. But my friends, isn't that interesting? So why are those people all turned against us and not maybe the biggest country they ought to be thinking about is going to be taking over the world if we don't wake up? No, they have everything that would enable them to if we don't wake up more than anybody ever has. Oh, this gives them the edge. Kind of like Josie Wales with the sun at his back. Coming on Camcheros, right? Yeah. Y'all might remember that maybe. We're in the Indian says to the little woman says, hell has come to breakfast. Now spit. Watch Outlaw and Josie Wales someday. Great movie. China's focus on genomic warfare has attracted attention to the FBI's Biological Countermeasures Unit and the Air Force's Office of Special Investigation. Both reportedly highly concerned about the nation's security effect resulting from enormous amounts of genomic data being gathered in the United States falling into Chinese hands. Imagine that. Imagine that. Wow. So what can we do? We cannot affect China's march into genomic weapons. They're apparently already there. Their development and China's ability to deploy them effectively may be years away, but China is in a race to enable it to wage war in entirely new, entirely devastating ways. So let's hope the plug gets pulled before all that happens and their programs. And our best hope would be the people in the People's Republic of China would wake up and go, you know what? We don't need this oppressive regime over on our neck. We could do so much better without them. Maybe they'll wake up and just, depower them. Quit paying tax money to them or something, whatever it takes to get those guys out. Let's hope. And maybe the Falun Gong will find a way to lead that. Or the original Republic of China, which is the Republic of China, which is in Taiwan today, living in exile due to having been pushed out by the insurgency known as the People's Republic of China, which claims that Taiwan, which wrongly claims that Taiwan is a split away province of them. That's backwards. It's the other way around. Yeah. So, okay. All these things kind of make you think about that Deaglecom, don't it? It's kind of a scary prospect here when they're talking about some of these things. So I'm going to do a screen share. We're going to look at some of these things real quick, and then we're going to conclude this video. How's that sound? So we'll do a screen share. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Ding. I hope you're seeing this. Don't give me the highlight. There we are. I said highlight it now. Okay. Now this may be crazy stuff. If y'all don't know Deaglecom, they cover defense acquisitions, aerospace stuff, boom, 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 and a little bit of intel. They used to have this little link down the bottom. You had to really look and find it. Well, now I guess by such popular demand, they put it all the way up here on the top left side. List of countries. There's 199 countries with data from 2017 and forecast for 2020. 25 forecast. And here was their data from 2017. And this is populations in millions. This is, apparently our GNP and economic value per individual, like individual GNP, or whatever you want to call that, or how much money we make per year per person, and all data like that, defense spending, all this stuff. So if you take this, and this is in millions, and then you go to their forecast for 2025, bam, for just 4 years away. Somehow they got this huge forecast of a major down. What was that? We were how much before? Down to 99 million. From where? In 4 years? 326 to 99. Where'd they get that? Well, if you read their stuff, they claim from the CIA and other sources. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, this all could be just a bunch of hooey, but it's interesting. They've been posting this, and they left it up, and they defend it. They've been challenged for posting this, and they've left it. Not only have they left it, they may have just been a little bitty wee footnote to up in the upper left-hand corner of their page. Highly interesting. It's just how we get to turn on the World Economic Forum's great dream of 2030 of, we own nothing, we have nothing, we have no privacy, we've never been happier. Yeah, right. I'm going to come back to that in a future video. That aspect of no privacy and being happy. There's some real serious problems that a lot of people maybe hadn't thought out. Oh, here it is. This is the book that don't exist that a couple of people just chewed me out over. You can buy it. It's real. Here's the authors whose names I probably murdered. 2 colonels from the PLA. Unrestricted Warfare, and it's been translated into English just for your benefit, and you can buy it on Amazon.com. Yeah, oh, this don't exist. That's fake. That's not real. Oh, okay. We'll just go buy you a copy. Bam. And here's some of this other stuff I was talking about. China's military revolution. Okay, this is one of those papers I was mentioning to you right here. And here, China's national strategy of military-civil fusion has highlighted biology as a priority. It's hardly surprising the People's Republic of China is looking to leverage synergies among defense, scientific, and commercial developments in biological interdisciplinary technologies. Chinese military scientists and strategists have consistently emphasized that biotechnology could become a new strategic command in heights of future revolution of military affairs. I just quoted that a little bit earlier. Bam, there it is. Oh, it ain't real. Oh, yeah, I get so much of that. So much of that. No, here it is. Here it is. Bam. It's real. They're saying it. They're doing it. They're making it real. Oops, I don't want to show you that. And guys, just to kind of round this out, look here. Oh, yeah. What I didn't go into is unrestricted warfare. A little bit more. I should go back to that. It includes cyber attacks and other things to you. Just the biology on that book was just part of it. It went into several things. And there's other articles on this. I should have had something pulled up here. No, not that. Okay, I closed the website. I thought I had it right there. Okay, so you can see this is real. This book discusses other things. Let me end this show. What this is anymore. It discusses other things, other non confrontational bang bang type warfare, economic warfare being one of the key ones. Economic warfare, and several things that would make you say, "Oh, this is already ongoing." So you could say we already are and have been for some time in economic warfare. Oh yeah, there's there's a law warfare they call it law. Oh shoot, I forget the term. But I had all 4 of these, and I had the article of them. I was going to show you that too, and I accidentally closed it, I guess. That link. We've got to take China seriously. I am really serious about that. Let's hope they're not ready to release this stuff. Let's hope the bug going around is totally accidental or natural and just happened to get out and about. Let's hope it wasn't a test. Let's hope it wasn't a dry run. Let's hope they find a lot of difficulty in these developments. Let's pray for these things, and let's hope that the regime there that's creating all this stuff falls out of favor locally and goes away, gets replaced with something else that makes the people there happy. Let me say this, I've said it a million times. Well, maybe not a million, but quite a few. There are good people in every country in the world. There are good people of every nationality, every ethnic group, every religion, creed, color, from every hamlet, town, shire, neighborhood, ville, borough, whatever you want to call it. Every creek bank, hilltop, valley, hillside. Good people. People with good hearts, meaning well, who would give you the shirt off their back. In fact, most people in the world are basically at their heart good people. They just would like to have a future for themselves and their families. It's the leaders of the world that are problematic, and they control and manipulate the peoples against each other. And that's what has to be seen. Maybe that way we can stop that and get everybody to a higher degree of liberty without all these things. My friends, the world will not survive if we stay with all these hatreds. Of course, maybe their solution, maybe the solution to some of the powers that be would be just to put us all in the hive mind, inject your head. I am a robot. The other solutions may be, we got a little bug here, it'll just eliminate everybody but us. There's no problem with that. Life finds a way. It might just come right back and bite you. You ever heard of Frankenstein? So, hey, my advice to you, PLA, Xi Jinping, all the guys over there studying this doctrine, don't go there. Don't even think about it. Forget about it. You are playing with fire, a fire that will come back on you. There is in the universe a rule of the greater creator written in the stone, the fabric of space-time. What goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. If you sow something like that, it's going to come back at you. Life finds a way. You ever watch a Jurassic Park? Life finds a way. It will come back to you one day and eat you. And, it might mutate in such a way it may not affect the other people like you think. It may come back for you with a vengeance. That's how the universe works. Now, of course, you're an atheist society. You may not believe those things. Well, that is at your peril. So I just gave you the best advice you've ever been given. You may look at me like your enemy. But I just gave you the best advice, the most valuable thing you've ever received. Is don't go there. Don't go to this spot. Forget about it. It's not worth it. Never will be worth it. So I hope there's people there that listens to that and thinks about it and ponders it before they would actually unleash such a thing. So I hope and pray that these things do not come to pass. Hope and pray, and we'll need to pray some more. That's the funny thing though. Every time I do a prayer session on this channel, I lose droves of subscribers. And yet people go, well, Greg, you don't ever do anything. All you do is a fear monger. You're just a fear monger. You're trying to scare everybody. Okay, I come on my channel. I bring in a former head of a major department of the defense called the Strategic Defense Initiative, the SDIO office, in fact, SDIO, the head of Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program. Had him on my channel telling you how to get your power grid, how you in your community, in your state can get your power grid hardened. And I've had Mike Mabey talking about what we need to do at the federal level to get out the information, to make it more transparent, so it becomes apparent what's being covered up by the power industry. I've had Peter Vincent Pry on my channel twice. I've had General Krosniak. Yeah, I've had generals on my channel. I've had heads of strategic departments, of the Defense Department, of the Pentagon on my channel. There have been lots of other people with far bigger channels, get far more stuff, talking about, oh, I know somebody's got a cat that's in the Pentagon that sweeps the floor. I don't know. But they got this intel, and this is what's coming at us. Well, I got one of my videos, and I said, nope, it ain't happening. Let's talk about the Nibiru thing. I did a video saying Nibiru comes not this way. And I got attacked by someone. Oh, how do you know it's going to come? Because all these people said this. Okay, they said it's going to happen in September. It's November. I know they said by September, You could not deny it. All eyes would see. No one could deny it by September. Okay, it's November. I'm denying it. Every astronomer I know, and it's hundreds, actually probably about 1,000 or better astronomers on my Facebook site alone. You won't find one of them who would say, oh, that's right. Not a one. None. In fact, they would all love to be able to find Planet X, and they're looking diligently. I would love to find this thing. But anyway, I digress. The reason I'm saying that is I'm just trying to bring you information. There is real things to be concerned about. There's real reasons you need to prep and get ready. But you also need to hold out the hope. I do bring on here things that you can do. So what can you do? Well, for one, don't empower China. Quit trading with them. Spend your dollars locally. That's how you fight globalism. That's how you fight China. Spend your money locally. Support your local farmer, your local tradesman, your local artisan as much as possible. Yeah, it's hard to get some things locally, but as much as possible. Spend your money locally. It's better for the environment. Things have to be trucked around the world. I mean, for Pete's sake, China buys raw material in the United States, ships it halfway around the world, manufactures a product, and ships it back. And oh, by the way, those cargo ships are the dirtiest burning fuel burners there are on the planet. They burn tons and tons of the dirtiest fuel there is. It's cheap fuel, but it's nasty in the way it burns. But yet we give that a free pass. We totally ignore it because that's good for globalism. And, you know, some people say, well, Greg, you're not all into global warming. You talk about grand solar minimum. That's true. But the funny thing is my habitat concept would do the most to remove carbon from the atmosphere, so much so that it scares me. I think we might have to strip mines from coal fields and set them on fire. It would remove so much carbon. That's scary. Frightens me. I should be the darling of the left. Because it's going to have zero footprint in the environment. I mean, zero. Or very close, is the closest to zero you can imagine. Be a home you can grow your food out of and live in, make a living out of. You don't have all these needs for infrastructure, pipelines, and power lines. Oh, you want some data lines. You won't have, well, not with Elon Musk satellite network, you won't. It's little 5G transmitters. I'm not worried about that. I should explain that in a future video. Maybe on my other channel, Galactic Grades. Okay. I'm just saying here that, you know, for those that worry about me being fear-mongering, I'm trying to bring you information. You need to pay attention because what I'm telling you is things that are out there you need to be aware of. And the reason I'm bringing you this is so you'll know, prepare. And so you'll know to be proactive and do things. Yeah, do things. What other channel tells you to do things? To dig a hole and hide, dig a hole, and stock it and pile food, breakfast high. Now, I might tell you that part, but I don't stop there. That's for the bad case. I say have hope, but unempower these people by how you spend your money and how you vote. But voting with $1 is probably the most important vote you cast. So if collectively we start voting in certain ways and we start spreading information, share this video so people know, we need to be aware of China. We need to be aware of what they're doing. And we need to be prepared, and we need to challenge systems that, next time somebody wants to sell an important American company to a Chinese company, we need to think a lot harder about it. What are they going to do with it? What kind of data can they get from them? What they're doing? And can we shut down this data flow of our genomics information going to China right now? Good question. Really good question. All right, my friends. There's things we can do. And I have started the Freedom Restoration Foundation. See, I'm doing all kinds of things to protect our freedoms. And what do I do with the sheep for that? And I've started our Survival Tribe Network, and I think that may be one of our ultimate protections. But to get in either one, I can't find my little sheet. But what you need to do is email me, and the links will be below, hal5space@aol.com. We'll be set up in a better website, better email name really soon. And put tribe in it if you're interested in survival tribes. and put freedom, if you're interested in joining our Freedom Restoration Foundation. And with the Freedom Restoration Foundation, one of the things we'll start keeping an eye on is these kind of deals and how to deal with them. Eventually, we'll be telling you what you can do, who you need to contact. You know, we just got to build our network. So, but we're on our way. We've got quite a few members already. We got a nationwide network that we're building. So, and we're having meetings. We meet every other week. So we are on our way, and just a lot of work to do. We're laying the planks, getting it started. But help us out. I'm just asking for your. So I'm not asking for any money right now. Pay later, but not right now. We're just getting these things started up. We're just asking for you to send us your email so we can get you on our list, and then we can let you know what action you can take later down. That's the reason we're doing that. We do have a Facebook site, and we've even started a MeWe site. Anyway, so all I'm gonna say now, my friends, we've gone long, so that I know that you've watched it this long. Let's see. Oh yeah, Greg, we don't want to be oppressed. That's my smoking mask, by the way. One of my inventions. I did a video on that. I don't know, just having a little fun here. Anyway, guys, ladies, gentlemen, I respect all you guys who, if you watched this long, then you're serious. You are the change. We'll make this a better world. Just hang in here. I believe that in the end we win, but it may be a rough ride. That's why I did some prayer sessions, hoping to make the ride somewhat less rough. But in the end, we win. All right, my friends. Thank you for watching.